Hello, I'm calling this video Apologies to Charles Nicholas. I'm going to show you some stories from these 4 issues of Love and Romance from Charlton Romance Comics. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why I used to really dislike Charles Nicholas and now how I've found that he's really a pretty good artist. We'll begin with this story from 1973 called Lonely Nights. Now, this is inked by Vince Alisea, who was a very prolific inker for Charlton. He worked on a lot of different artists, but particularly on Charles Nicholas' work with this very distinctive signature. And I'm going to flip through this. You can see that the inking is kind of crude here. It's not really well defined, the faces. The backgrounds, they're just, I don't know, they just always just seem kind of dull to me. Not so much bad, but dull. And I just never cared that much for Alice's inking. Now I'm going to show you an example of Charles Nicholas penciling and inking his own stuff. This is called Let Me Alone. You can see the inking is much clearer and bolder. You can see around here, everything is distinct and well done. Look at the flowers in the background there. They're all very well delineated. Plus, the women look better than they do. I'll say is they always look kind of dumpy, but at least you've got a little bit of sex appeal going on here. There's a page out of this book, but luckily it doesn't affect these stories. And so that's the end of that Nicholas story. Now I'm going to show you Alisea inking another artist. Okay, here it is. Love is Not a Game. This is by Art Capello and Vince Alisea. Capello has a more cartoony style, but when he inks himself, he looks very good. Here you can see like the crudeness of this tablecloth, the kind of lackluster appearance of the characters. Capello was known for his use of the panels, how he would take like a 4-page story and blow it out to 6 or 7 pages sometimes, where he'd have these big panels with montages going on. And it's just, inked kind of sloppily to my eye. He would put girls in sexy poses, and I don't know, it doesn't seem to be very well realized here. And yeah, the airplane, that's a trope from Charlton Comics. And I don't know, it's just his work just doesn't pop. But this story, this is Archipelago inked by Charles Nicholas. And you can see again, it's all very slick and very well realized. And although it's recognizably Capello, it's taken on some of Charles Nicholas's style too. I'll stay square. You can see on all these panels, there's a lot of detail, and it's kind of finessed. It's not crude like Alicea's inking. Let me see if this will help. Just the detail is very appealing to me, to my eyes. Without getting too much into the stories, got these hip outfits. There's always a little conflict going on, and she ends up with him. And the obligatory kiss at the end. Now I'd like to show you an Art Capello inking himself, just to contrast. You see, he's got a more of an open, almost an Archie style. I didn't really care that much for him until I started seeing a lot of his work. His inking is distinctive. He'll have this broken line very often. See here in her hair. And like I say, his work is somewhat cartoony, but still realistic, you know, when he gets into the nitty-gritty of what he's got to draw. He's got a good range of talent in what he's doing. And of course, the lovemaking is a big factor in Charlton Comics. And Capello doesn't shy away from it. He also does a lot of these one-page gags. This girl's on the beach. Her friend says there's always a lot of guys there. She says certainly a girl alone should have no trouble finding a playmate. And this little boy walks up. Hey, want to play with me for a while? Not exactly what she was looking for. Now, finally, this is this book is uncredited. This story is uncredited in the Grand Comic database, but from my experience, I think this is Charles Nicholas and inked by Wayne Howard. You can see it's just a really nice job in the coloring too. They never give any credits for the coloring, but sometimes it's just really pops in really well. You can see again, the characters are all very well delineated. And the reason I think it's Wayne Howard is because there's just a hint of Wally Wood in it. You can see the nice figures, very clean. This panel especially tipped me off that made me think it was Wayne Howard. It looks like a Wally Wood swiped from an EC comic. Very nice. I thought there was another page to that. Yeah. Here we go. So it's kind of a Cinderella story. They're going off to the ball. And she's like, oh, don't worry, Dad, I've got a book to read. And then they leave, and she says, now I can get ready. And she dresses up. Oh, wow, this is too much. Cal might just go ape. And he catches the guy at the ball. And, of course, they come together for the kiss. Oh, you knew who I was, Cal. Oh, yeah, I said I know those beautiful legs anywhere. Well, that's my tribute to Charles Nicholas. I've shown you a few of his pencils and a couple of inkers on him. I was just, for years, in Charlton Comics, and he did work in every kind of genre. I'm not sure about the superheroes, but Charles Nicholas and Vince Alicea were ubiquitous in Charlton Comics, and it always looked dull and uninteresting and made me just think I didn't like Charles Nicholas. But I'd like to shout out to Gary, my friend Gary Usher, who tipped me off to him being really a good artist. And this has been fun to talking about this. And if you like it, like it. And if you have any comments, I'd sure like to hear them. And oh yeah, I'm still having a contest. So if you want to get in on my subscriber contest, all you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll put you in the drawing for a really cool prize. So I guess that's it. Thanks.